everybody, my name is WWII. I bought a camera that I don't know how to use, so I have no sound.
I have recorded this whole freaking thing, pulling this stuff off and putting stacks on Blackie, and there's no sound. Of course, it's being me, so I never got the memo that I don't have no sound because nobody told me. The camera didn't say. But here's the stacks. They're looking good, and yada yada. They need some kind of, the welding sucks on it because I learned something today. As much welding as I've done, you'd think I'd know that it takes Trimix to weld stainless, but I'm using straight argon, and no, that's not working. I finally did figure out if you're using straight argon and you can stack it up to where it falls in there, then it can work. You just gotta, you can't overhead and you can't go vertical unless you're like at 90 degrees running uphill, you know, or not dummy, vertical is 90. Like 80 degrees or less to where when you build your stack up underneath your puddle, you can trigger it in and keep it in. But we did get the job done, but no, wrong gas. You can weld flat with argon, I found that out. But there's no adhesion, it runs off, it runs crazy, it does a terrible job welding. And that tank's cooked. That tank's a tank. I hit that tank a long time ago with a chunk and messed it all up. I might be able to find that, dig that up and use that. But anyways, that's a Peterbilt tank, and we're taking that off. So the tank's coming off, toolbox coming off, hydraulic tank's coming off, the original muffler's coming off, and then we're gonna start with the big stainless stacks, Blackie's bullhorns, or what would that be called? If it can't be bullhorns on Blackie, it'd have to be the bird wings. So we'll put the bird wings on Blackie. And then hopefully by the time this project, we'll come in and out on this project, but hopefully by the time this project's all the way done, we'll have the stacks, we'll have the hood, we'll have the Uncle Tony's big boy horns, we'll have a legitimate whirly-bird light system, and we'll have a big radiator in Blackie. And also, those of you that's been hammering on me, there will be a jetter pump fix. I don't want to spoil the beans, but Blackie, as I'm editing this right now on January the 10th, Blackie is in Small Brothers shop, and they pulled the ejector pump out and sent it off. They said, I don't see how that thing was running. He said, there was two dead doodads in that jetter pump, and there's only 6 total. Blackie's a 6-banger. But there's only 6. I said, now listen. Said Blackie'd run off of 1. So that's what's going on there. But this is right after we got back from us, Farmer Chris, John, and their family, and Mikey, Dirt Perfect and his family, and we all went to Gatlinburg, which is very cool. Had a little rocky start. Miss Jenna felt bad about it, but we all had a good time. And the girls, Miss Jenna and Olivia and Mommy, they had fun, and the kids all went. But this is the day after I got back. I think after we got back, so this would be like this is New Year's Day. I think we're working on Blackie on New Year's Day. So New Year's Day happened on a Friday. So I think I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday working on Blackie. Here is what this stretch will end up being of the big bird doctor visit here in the tater doctor. I'm going to have to redo this. Officer Hoover's been on me because he can't see my numbers. And we repainted over it with the Sharpie once, but I'll have to get them fixed before it comes out of here too. And I have to decide, a tough decision, should I paint this thing or not? I don't know. I'm on the fence. It ain't a thing of saving money, which also I'm always being a tightwad. I don't want to save money, but it's a thing of, do I want to take Blackie and make it a nice pretty truck, or do I want to do something like leave the truck ratty, the body, and which you'd have to see the hood we're putting on to understand the full appreciation for this, but would leave. See, my thoughts is it is a log truck, although it's a log truck that's very well loved, even though it don't look that way. Do I leave the body ratty and put make sure the wheels are shiny and finally put out effort to get my stacks all polished up and right? I still haven't figured that out yet. I'm having trouble figuring out how to get them mill finish stacks to be polished. You know, like take the shiny metal and make it shiny and leave all the paint crappy. I mean, I think that's the route I like. That's a look I like. I don't like a shiny. No, I'm not a shiny guy, shiny vehicle guy. I used to be. There was a time I was. I was a clean guy at one time before I turned into a dirty old man. But I just like that dirty look. I like it. I like a, you know. You have to see the hood to fully appreciate my mentality. But what do you all think? I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. So what I'm doing right now is I'm draining this hydraulic tank, and I'm trying to get the return hose that goes to that return filter, and I'm gonna pull that off there and dump it in this fuel tank that I got, so I can save my hydraulic oil because I want to reuse it. Being a tight butt. And this hose is stiff. I'm probably replacing all hoses for the most part. But this hose is stiff, and I got to get the fuel tank set in the right spot where I can fight this thing off here and shove it right in a fuel tank hole real quick. Let's see if she works. It's being a pain. It's stiff. This old hose is stiff. These hoses are all stiff. System's been good. This truck. And I know it's nasty underneath here, but it's nasty to the side of oil and not road grime so much. Oil don't bother me near as bad as road grime. Road grime bothers me because it rots. Oil don't rot. Oil preserves. I know it's a weird way of looking at it, but yeah, my truck's filthy. But it's got if it's filthy with oil, that's one thing. If it's filthy with road grime, that's another. Well, I guess that worked. Alright, now pull this out and start shooting the bull. I don't know what this is about. I need to cut this out on my editor. Hang on, I'll cut this all out. So there it is. Oh man, that's nasty. Some people will be like, man, what are you doing? You're getting nasty in your hydraulics. But the hydraulic type system on these trucks, they handle trash way better than any other hydraulic system I've ever been around. They're built loose, I think. Loose tolerances, it's that sort of thing. Setting the toolbox off here, getting it out of the way, and I'm just going to shove it out of the way till we need it later on. And next, the hydraulic tank. So we're going to take it off. But I think what I was doing here is I was giving a... Yeah, I was talking about the way hydraulics work. Okay, so the Audi line, you know, these hydraulics plug into a trailer for walking floor or lowboy, and then it pumps and pressures up that hose on the other side of the drive shaft that I put my hand on right here, and it goes out with pressure, and it powers up out there by where a light bulb is. It powers up the trailer, and then when it comes back, the hose is sticking in the tanks where it comes back from the trailer through the filter. But there's and then back to tank. But there's also inside there is a relief cartridge in that pump to where if it gets back pressure or you start it without the trailer hooked up, it's got to dump back in the tank, squirting past the relief valve till hopefully the operator figures out what he's done and shuts it down without tearing anything up. If there's no relief valve and nowhere to relieve oil, it busts. Your pump will bust. Speaking of busting, bust that guy. You see that guy? He come to get his check. Torment me. He's gonna smack me with it. And I don't know why Kitty's with him. Kitty the dog. We have Kitty the dog out the mill. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but Kitty Cat is a dog. It does bark. The thing barks. It don't go meow. And then Junkie showed up for his check. Me and him shoot the bull for a while. These guys are all super laid back because they're on Christmas break. Me and Junkie shot the bull quite a while. Okay, I'm back. Me and Kenny had to shoot the bull. It's Sunday. Big Mama's taking care of stuff out the mill. While I'm editing this, not while I'm doing the work on the screen here. But we got the bull mess, and one thing, I'm jumping subjects on you, but one thing, I'm not going to be political. I'm not going to be political on here, so I'll promise you, before everybody gets their hair raised up. But I will say this, all Americans should read a book called the Gulag Archipelago. It's probably the best, it's an audio book, you can get it and work while you're listening to it. It's 21 hours long, but it's it'll be a life-changing event, I promise you. It's the most life-changing book I think I've ever read in my life. It's about the gulags that Stalin ran in Russia. Horrible. It's a horrible experiment that went horribly wrong, and in the end, 66 million people perished. 66 million people of their own people. To give you an idea, World War II was the most horrible war in world history. Yeah, and that's rotted out underneath my cab. I gotta change that. I think I'm gonna get that whole section, jack up my cab and change the leveling valve's messed up. It's busted. The airbag's old. Shocks are old. I am just gonna replace that hole in that thing in the trough. There's rotted out. So I pop 4 bolts out of it, unplug my airlines, and just replace the whole thing, be done with it. But anyways, where was I at? So anyway, I'm bringing my Stax in, and you can see, look at my Stax. You can see where I've been rubbing on them with the sand and disc stuff, and I ain't figured out how to polish them yet. Anybody got any ideas? Let me know. I need to get them polished. Just the outside corners to where you see. I ain't worried about all the inside, internal stuff. Just the outside, what everybody sees from the truck. But anyways, to give you an idea, World War II was the most horrible event that ever happened in the world at one time with the war. And 80 million people died. Most of them, the people got hit the hardest in World War II that you wouldn't even imagine. The Chinese. The Chinese got hit harder in World War II than anybody. But you don't hear about it because it's communist and they sweep that stuff under the rug. So anyways, and then that was 80 million people. 11 million of them was the Jews that we all talk about. The Jews, and I'm not anti-Jew or nothing. I hate it for anybody to die. I'm a big softy. But the Jews was 11 million. I forget what the Germans was, and the Polish got hit hard. Polish got hit very hard. Poor Polish. And China was the most horribly hit, if there was a competition of horribleness in World War II. But everybody should research World War II because it was a mechanized war. It's when everybody started having war with mechanized equipment, and wow, and a lot of people got. And here's the exhaust coming up underneath the cab. Now that come out to the old. I got to take that off and put flex pipe in there to go to this. Now that when I have my hand on there, it's galvanized. It's not stainless. Because I couldn't drum up stainless unless I decapitated the exhaust I already had, which I should have. Hindsight 2020, that's what I should have done, because I'm going to have trouble out of that little elbow down there someday down the road, which I hate that, because stainless will last you forever and that won't. But anyways, me and Mama was talking about the stuff because she's listening to that audio book now, because I told her everybody talk to Gulag Archipelago. You have to read it. As an American, you have to read that book. In my opinion, it has to be done. There's other books out there that I don't, advise on or nothing like that, but Gulag Archipelago, and if you can stomach that, if you can stomach the Gulag Archipelago, then check out the Raping in Nanking. That is, but I don't advise that to the weak of heart because that is horrible. Okay, these are all threads I cut from my U-bolts. My homemade. I'm working on making the U-bolts to hold it down now. And I was yakking about something, but I can't remember since there's no sound. I can't remember what I was yakking about. But what we're doing right here is I'm cutting the angle irons to go across the top. And this makes me nervous clamping on the bottom of my truck frame, because that bottom flange, it makes me nervous to sandwich on a frame like that. And I'll move that hydraulic tank. There ain't gonna be no hydraulic oil oozing down there to take care of it. That scares me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there. That concerns me. I have a concern there, because when you put metal on your bottom flange like that, you're asking for it to rot. You're just asking for salt to get in there, to brine, whatever, and you're asking for trouble. Now here I'm drilling holes in it for the mountain bolts. I went ahead and took the press and popped out to the max of the press, the iron worker. And now I'm going to use the mill machine and just go ahead and drill out the hose to the right diameter. I think I end up using 3/4 inch all thread, which reminds me, I need to write that down. I need to order 3/4 inch all thread. Thank you guys. Editing this for y'all. Help me get my parts coming. Oh boy. Let me get this ordered. Well, I tell you, I highly advise everybody to carry a notepad. You never know what all you're going to write on. I just write everything. I keep a journal and a notepad, and I write in my notepad and then log it to my journal. I've been doing that for about 8 months now, and I'm telling you, it's making all the difference. And I thought, well, I'll grow out of it, and no, I actually, now that I'm used to it, I actually write more stuff down than I did in the past. Because you forget, if somebody tells you a piece of information, 5 minutes, what they say, 2 minutes or a minute 45 seconds or something like that, that's all your brain's going to remember it for. If you ain't wrote that down, well, I'm having a conversation with somebody important, or somebody I feel is important, which it don't take much. I could talk to anybody at the greeter at Walmart, and I think that guy's important too. Everybody's important to me. But they could be telling you something, I'll just be writing notes down while you're talking to me. And then later on, when I get a minute, I'll go back and I'll open up. And here they are with them on, but I'll open up my notes, see, and go back to my notes and write in my journal, and then it's locked in the vault. And anytime I need to go back through and research something, I got a journaling system. I'll show y'all someday once I get it to where I feel proud of it. But there's a flex pipe on there, and that is stainless. All that stuff's stainless, but the elbow is galvanized. Galvanized there, going into the bottom of my Stax. I hate that. I hate that I've done that. I hated doing that. But I didn't have stainless, which we need to, I'll write that down too. We need to order some stainless elbows. And the smoke come out of one, I don't know what the deal is these Stax. See how smoke comes out one side and the other? Something ain't. I think when I give it full gas and start really pouring the air through it, I think they even out easy. But at a low RPMs, it goes one and then the other. I don't understand that. Something about the flow in there. It don't have a Y pipe, because the way I got this thing organized, I ain't got a Y pipe in it. But with a Y pipe, that would help. And here's my whirlybird lights working. They turned out great. And that CB antenna in the middle of them Stax, I've moved it off my mirrors and the door and put it on the Stax, and I love that. So here we go, moment of truth. Let's check her out. We got a long way to go, but the stack part's done. And that umbilical cord, I didn't drill a hole in the cab. That umbilical cord went into an old antenna hole. And I got it all siliconed in there real good to where it don't leak and stuff. And got black snake on there so it don't. What do you think? I love the way that. I don't know. The CB antenna in the center, I've always been big on that since I've seen it, since I've been exposed to it back in, I'd say I first got exposed to that back in the early 2000s. And that's where, and I always wanted to move the CB antenna off the mirrors on this truck and put it up there. I love it. I love the way, I'm so happy. And I like the way the boxy look of the truck, the lines. I love the lines. But what scares me is when I put that other hood on there, and put that big radiator in there, that makes me nervous. Because I've been so used to the lines on this hood, that makes me nervous putting a tall, straight hood on there. Is it going to mess up my look, or is it just going to add to my look? What do y'all think? It's going to be, I forgot what they call it. It's the Eagle hood. What I'm putting on the headlights will be on top of each other. There'll be 4x6 headlights, 4 headlights, and and they'd be stacked on top of each other. Kind of like, it was kind of a thing at the end of the 80s, at the end of the 80s. You've seen it in Chevy pickups and stuff. Anyways, next we're going to head out and we're going to take a look at the log yard. So, now my drone pilot skills is not the best. Now this is y'all will see this, the footage I'm showing now is in January, but I'm trying to mix my footage up so y'all don't get bored with, look at that log yard, would you? Trying to mix my footage up so y'all don't get bored with just a bunch of logging videos or just a bunch of sawmill videos. So this is present day. This is like the 2nd day of January, 3rd of January. But a lot of the videos on logging that you're getting right now is from October. So we did get the log yard inventory. This is the most expensive inventory we've ever had in the history of our company. There's a lot of red oak and ash because the price has been in the toilet for red oak and ash. And we made a company plan to hedge as much of it as possible that we can afford with borrowed money. It's not out of pocket, driver, but it's in there. That's a pile of wood. It's what you're looking at is 1.4 something million feet of saw logs. Now some of it's cheap pallet stock. That old nasty looking stuff up there on the left, that was pine. See that pine, that old nasty. And we haven't got all it sawed. All we got is crating with the pine. And there's walnut and cherry. There's your cherry. Used to be a high dollar species. Now it's pretty crappy. Redwood is just down. But the red oak is coming back, hopefully. If there's anything could be good for our company out of the election would be, I don't know, if the markets get better for red oak or not, we'll see. But we're setting on ash because the ash has been in the toilet too. But it's starting to come back. So the poplar and the white oak, there's no poplar and white oak. Every time we get a few loads of poplar and white oak, it gets sawn. So, and we hedge back. We hedge this red oak. And on the right, you're looking at ash. On the left, you're looking at red oak. Between the ricks that you're flying through right now. And I apologize. Like I said, this new drone, the old drone, it's coming up. The old drone got smashed, and I'm running a brand new drone. This is the first recording I've done with it, and I have to adjust it better. It's not adjusted properly. The flight is touchy, and I'm not that good a drone pilot anyways, but the flight reaction is touchy, and it makes for a jerky shot. There's a red oak pile there. We got some nice looking red oak and ash though, boy. We do got some nice looking wood though. None of that wood's junk, except for the old. You see the old up on the pile, and then you'll see that old pine. Them are the only pallet stock we got. All the rest of that's money wood. See them 2 rows of pallet stock up there? There they are. These 2 rows of hardwood pallet stock, old stuff. And then we got, but all that stuff you're looking at over there. And then here I made a quick flight through I don't know what's on the skids. Poplar's on the skids. And we're making a flight through the front of the sawmill building. Taking a look inside. The mill's been doing pretty good lately. We still got some more stuff. I'm having trouble with the red oak coming on. I'm nervous because red oak wood is very heavy. It's going to be hard on the mill. So many weaknesses in guys and the mill. Shoulders and chains and conveyor chains. You're going to see issues. And then that building, the roof on that lumber grading building underneath the camera there, it's getting ready to get redone. We're going to redo that this summer. Now, you see all them tarps there? That's on the project, the ongoing project down here on the lumber building project there. Once we get all that done, we got to make another hitch on this summer. So we just put tarp down and stuff to take any erosion that comes off the roof. When we get it re-roofed, we'll get gutters on it so it quits eroding. And we're building the concrete and the footing and stuff back, but we just kind of ran out of time on it. And this here, I got all the paint it takes to repaint all this. I got it all in stock. It's sitting there. But Ari was going to paint all this, and we had a little blow up, and I don't want to touch that, but he ended up gone from the company, which he was going to paint that. It was going to be his project. He actually did get it all hosed off and stuff, but we just didn't get the painting done. This is the old 544J, and here's the K, the 624K that we're running right now. And we was trying to make a decision on whether or not to keep it, and I think the decision is going to be a negatory. Although, if you can handle the def crap and you can handle a good log loader, this son of a buck is the best running log loader I ever ran. But that's minus the Tier 4. I love the shape of that clamp. I wish it was a little longer set of forks. I think that loader needs a bigger set of forks on it. But I hope y'all like it, and I hope y'all appreciate this video. Thank you, everybody.
Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell. Thanks for watching the video, and make sure to get that WWII.com merch. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
We love you. See you.
He's like Demolition Man.